Hello everyone, and most of all, welcome to our second Settify training webinar. The first one had such a terrific response and I was really encouraged by the wonderful feedback, so thank you. As with all of our webinars, registered attendees will receive a link to the recording to watch at a more convenient time, and therefore you don't have to miss out, so always great to register for them. As a quick introduction, my name is Joanne Canellis, affectionately known as Just Jo. I am the Client Relationship Manager for Settify, and the aim of my role is to liaise with our current partner firms, provide additional value in terms of analytic reporting, offer refresher training sessions, updates on new capabilities, and targeted support to give a more personalised service. So essentially, I'm here to support and assist each of you directly. In terms of housekeeping for the webinar, my colleague and lovely marketing manager, Emma, is assisting me again today. I'm unable to see the chat whilst presenting, but any questions or suggestions of topics you'd like addressed in future webinars are very welcome. If I do have time or I don't have time for questions whilst we're live, rest assured our team will get back to you with any of those. And the aim for me is just to ensure that these sessions continue to help our partner firms optimise what Settify has to offer. So the intention of this webinar today is to take a deep dive into our Settify Invitation function to see how proactively using this tool will help attract and convert clients. It's a feature that's sometimes overlooked as some firms rely solely on clients coming through via website traffic. If you have had any dealings with me, you will not have escaped the conversation or email without me mentioning the words invitation function. And that's because I concentrate on communicating its benefits in nearly every interaction. I do this because as part of my role, I constantly analyse our partner firms' back-end data to see how they use Settify and what completions result from that usage of website hits or invitations the firm has sent. It's a fact, and the data backs it up, that Settify invitations are our most powerful conversion tool, and sending an invitation to every inquiry results in the greatest number of successful completions, and in turn is proven to consistently show positive return on investment. What I'll demonstrate for you today is the benefits of invites being a time-saving tool, a resourcing tool, a tire-kicking tool, a conversion tool with a 60 to 80% completion rate. And I'll note here that many firms say that they get most clients through personal referrals. Personal referrals should have the same opportunity and ease to come through the online system, get upfront information and access to the value and efficiency, and still come in and see their lawyer who'll be prepared with all their background details before they meet. I'm going to show you a little quick example. I will just share my screen with some stats. Emma, can you see my screen?
Perfect, Jo.
All right, lovely. What you can see here is the data of one of our partner firms, and this is what I look at in my back end. And what I look at is the last 4 columns. These are your invitations sent, your invitations that have been completed from those invites, web visitors to the Settify website buttons, and what appointments have come through via those website buttons. I'm going to show you this firm's first 12 months of usage. You can see that they were sending invitations, but it was very hit and miss, and it certainly wasn't to each and every inquiry that they received. These are the completions from those. You can see that their numbers for website hits on the Settify buttons were good, and they were still bringing in business through those website buttons. However, if we compare it to their current 12 months, it is very clear they are now taking the invitation approach, which is to send an invitation to every inquiry. The numbers are really strong. Obviously, it is each inquiry that is being sent an invite, and therefore the completion rate is really high. This firm is sitting at a current 70% completion rate from invitations sent. And here we also have an example of how much the website traffic has increased. It's clear because this firm's now committed to sending more invitations, it's obviously increased their website traffic too. Once receiving the invite, those clients will often visit the firm's website, have a look, and then come through either via the website button or invitation function. Hopefully they've used the invite function, as that'd be a more personalised way or path for them, because it won't ask them again for things like their email or name, which you've already gathered from them when you've sent out the invitation. But it shows that invites increase website traffic too, which I think is a really important note. I'll just stop sharing that screen there. And come back. Okay. Today, I want you to know I'm going to share everything with you that you need to know about Settify invitations. The first thing is, what is an invite? Important to clarify is that when your firm partners with us, you're provided two clear options for how your clients can access the platform, utilise the onboarding option, and provide their background information and instructions to you. Option one is via your firm's website. So this is where we have integrated Settify buttons into different locations for them to commence their matter online immediately. It's a terrific lead generator that's conveniently available to clients 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And although, note that clients must have visited the firm's website to select to get started online in that way. So it's great for those that have been referred or are doing their research to get started online. Option two is the one I'm highlighting today, and that is being sent a Settify invitation. So a member of your firm takes an inquiry from a potential client, either over the phone or by email, and initiates sending an invitation. Immediately, the client has a personalised email which provides context about the onboarding tool, informs them why it's beneficial, and includes a built-in Settify link for them to commence their matter directly from that invitation. Who should you send an invite to? I believe there's three categories of client inquiries. So the first is clients who have possibly been referred and have already decided they would like to engage the firm and wish to book an initial appointment. In this circumstance, you can send an invitation which confirms that appointment and invites them to provide their background information in advance to allow a really solution-focused discussion at that initial meeting. The second category is an inquiry seeking high-level information like what is the process, how much are the fees, etc. They're probably ringing around a few firms and trying to decide who it is they're going to engage. This is the perfect client to send a Settify invitation to immediately, as it gives them something instant and useful from your firm, which could be the deciding factor that sets you apart from the firm that just says, call us back when you make a decision. And finally is the client inquiry. They've called and wanting to spend a great deal of time on the phone, depleting resources and potentially just wasting time. Use an invitation to finalise that phone time while still offering them the opportunity to engage with the firm at a later date if they choose. So therefore, the answer is that it's suitable and very appropriate to send an invite to every inquiry. Next, where do you find the invite function? I'm going to share another screen. Okay. For the demonstration, I'm going to use our faux law firm test site. So when you log into the system, you will see your firm's logo, colours and font at the top, just here where I have the Stanford, Kennan and Spry wording. In the last webinar, I provided a guided tour of this home screen and its features, so feel free to request that recording from us. In the webinar, or this one, we'll go into the link at the top right of the screen. Just make sure you can see that clearly. Just here where it clearly reads invitations. It's that simple to find, top right of your dashboard. And when you have taken an inquiry, simply log on and go into that link to get to your invitation screen, which takes us to the client invite page. A recommendation I'd give for quick ease of use is to save this page to your favourites so you can click on invites immediately when you're on the phone to clients and pull up an invite straight away. Having the page handy makes an invite really fast and easy to use. I'll give you a little tour of the invitation screen. So you'll notice that it's laid out very much like your main dashboard. The difference is that your dashboard lists all your clients who have completed Settify via the website button or a link and have requested an appointment. However, this screen lists all the clients who the firm has sent an invitation to. As I mentioned in the first webinar, you can customize this list. So you have the option of listing all leads from the Settify platform your firm offers, or you can just toggle to the business line you practice in. So I will show you here that I have got showing invites from all practice areas. Then if you want, you can toggle to family invites, wills invites, probate invites, or estate invites. So we do have those 4 platforms. The ones that will show for you are the ones that your firm has engaged with Settify. If you click on just family invites, it will narrow down your list and just show you the family ones. And this can visually simplify your view for real clarity. So just know that that's an option. For further explanation of this page, the far left column is your list of clients who have been issued an invitation, and you can see at a glance the practice area the invite was sent from in the little circle just in front of their name. So for example, FL for family law, P was a probate invite, W for wills, etc. The next column tells you here, invited, when the invitation was issued, and that's presented to you in hours, days and weeks. A really helpful tip I would provide at this point, and many of you that send invitations may not know this, but if you click on the circle with the little I for information underneath the date or the status of when the client was invited, you can really drill down on some useful details. So just here, if I click on the little I can see I sent that invite 2 hours ago, and it gives me some high-level information. It confirms the email address that the invite was sent to. It tells you the exact date and time the invite was sent. If the client's made an appointment, it will be listed in there or give you the option to add an appointment. You will see the lawyer that the invite came from as well. And just before I get to these last 2, I'll let you know it's another little known fact that our system will send intelligent reminders to clients that you've invited to use the system. It works like a little PA in the background and relieves the firm of any follow-up actions and really saves time. So the optics for that really portray efficiency. And in addition, the functions are really terrific business builder. So something to be mindful of. Clients are sent a maximum of 3 reminder emails and can select to not receive further ones when they get the first. feedback is that majority of clients are grateful for the little nudge to get their matter started or reminder to start filling out their invitation. And really at such a busy, overwhelming time for most, they really normally appreciate the prompt. But underneath here, the last two will tell you if those automatic reminders are on. It also gives you the option to switch them off if you prefer. And the system will tell you if the client has actually been sent any reminders, and when they were sent, they would all be listed here next to reminder emails sent so far. So that's a handy tip on your invitation screen. The last column on the screen, self-explanatory. It will give you the status. It clearly states if the invite has been sent, if it has been started, which is really terrific to know, and if it's been completed. So it provides you with a really great view of how the client's progressing through the system, which is useful. Back up to the top right-hand corner of this screen, you'll see two options. The first is invite a new client, which is what I'm here to demonstrate for you today. And the one under it says invite existing client, which has a little question mark in a circle. Again, you can press on that for some information. It tells us that we can send a follow-up email. There are times firms like advise that a client, or they wish a client has filled out Settify more comprehensively with more information. This is a great way to get the client back into their record and continue on and provide more detail. So pressing on the question mark tells us that we can easily send emails to people that originally came to us through Settify, and open the client record in the admin screen to click send follow-up email at the top of the page. I'll give you a quick demonstration. So many lawyers that I speak with that are partnered with us don't know that they can ask or request the client to provide more details. So if I just go into a record, I'll choose this one, and I open the client record. I have the brief and executive summary on my screen, and up in the top right-hand corner, this client was an invited client, so I can't ask for follow-up. I'm going to go back and just select one more. We'll go to John Smith. All right. So this client's already been sent a follow-up email. It's telling us follow-up email sent. Everything that you need to look at will generally be in your top right-hand corner. And if I go on information, the drop-down will tell me when that follow-up email was sent, and I can view it or I can resend it at that time. If up here it didn't say follow-up email sent, it will offer to send a follow-up email, and that's where you would find that option. Terrific. I just wanted to throw that in because I think it's useful. I'll go back to the invitation page. Okay. How do you send a Settify invitation? So what we're going to do now is go to invite a new client. When I open that up, it tells me what platform I'm logged into in this blue banner. I am in the family law platform, but if I wanted to send a wills, probate or estate invitation, I can simply toggle and click on the link. Make sure you do send your invite from the correct platform because they are worded accordingly and appropriately for those particular platforms. And all you need to do to send an invite is put in a name. I am going to type in Sylvester Stallone and his email address. This is a true story. Rocky's wife filed for divorce this year, 3 months after they celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary. So Rocky may need a good family lawyer. And all I've popped in is the information that I've asked for, which is a name and an email address. And from there, that took me 10 seconds. From there, I can easily show a preview to see what I will be sending. This is what we would send to a client that has not yet made an appointment, and it's worded appropriately for that. So it's taking you 10 seconds, no time's wasted on those who are just shopping around, yet it will still hopefully end up that they'll come through as a client if they are serious about engaging a lawyer for their matter. What you can see here is it's wording in a way that says, we invite you to make use of our free online induction tool. By answering a few simple questions, you'll receive personalised information about the family law system in Australia and how it may apply to your situation. If you decide you'd like to engage us as your lawyers, you will then have the option of providing your relationship history online, and by completing this process in your own time and space, you will enable us to consider some of the key information on your matter before we meet. This helps us reduce costs and get the most out of our initial conference. So it does explain to the client, it gives them context that it's optional and it's useful. If the client has made an appointment, you can then go into a few extra options that I'll just run through for you. And that is selecting a lawyer. Any lawyers in your firm or in your Settify system will automatically be in this drop-down list. I am selecting Amanda today, and she is going to be our lawyer. I can then go to an appointment date. It is as simple as a click. And once I've selected the date, I have a drop-down for an appointment time. I then have an appointment location. Any of your offices will be listed in there. And then we have some tick boxes. Include a calendar appointment email to Sylvester. Well, I'll keep that ticked because that's useful. The initial meeting will be conducted by phone or video conference. Many of us are not having face-to-face conferences at the moment at the office, so you can select that. You can pop any information in the box you like about instructions for that meeting. And then next you can go to a hyperlink for the invitation email, where you can pop in a Zoom or a Teams link, and also include the link as the meeting location on the calendar appointment if you're not meeting physically. The last tick box option says a conflict check's already been performed. If you have time to do a quick conflict check while the client is on the phone and prior to you sending off this invite, it's useful to tick this box. What it means is when the Settify information comes back, you can access it immediately. If you don't have time and that box is left unticked, when the Settify information comes back, you will be prompted to complete a conflict check prior to being able to access that information. And now I will show you a preview of when a client's made an appointment. So what this tells us is, in order to make the most of our time when we speak, I invite you to complete our short online induction. By completing it in your own time and space, you'll enable me to consider some of the key information on your matter ahead of our call, and we will get more out of the initial conference. So in both scenarios, it's worded appropriately, gives the client context about why it is they're receiving this invite. Your firm's logo and colours will be built into it. It will tell you who it's going to, who it's from, anyone that's CC'd in. It will have a built-in link that will take the client directly to get started online. And there are just a couple of extra things I will show you here. You have two more options. One is click here to add a custom message. If something come up on the phone while I was speaking to Rocky, I might want to remind him of that. So I'm just going to type in bring the documents, Rocky, and that will remind him about what we discussed. I can preview what that's going to look like inside the invitation, which is handy. Your invite will also, because we selected a lawyer, have a little biography about the person that the client will be meeting, also a profile pic if you've added one of those in. It's really a kind introduction for the client to know a little bit of background about the person they'll be meeting with, puts them at ease and just works well. And the final option you have with your invite is down the very bottom. It says, click here to edit the entire email yourself. If you go into that, it will give you the option to go into the body of the email and make any adjustments you wish. Be aware that most firms go with our standard wording. I'll just get out of that. Yes, I'm sure, but you can customize it if you wish. And the standard wording works perfectly, but to working with your firm, if you have a specific request, feel free to definitely speak to us about that, and we'll see whether it's something that can be done. So I will just allow you to look at this invite whilst I continue talking. So I'm just going to summarize for you the benefits of sending the invites, and there is a list because there are many. Based on past data, and Settify now has 6 years worth of that, invites generally result in between a 60 and 80% successful completion rate for firms that want to engage and convert more clients from a simple inquiry to a fee-paying client. We know it works. The firm and the client will both receive calendar appointments to save into their respective diaries, which is just really handy. And Settify sends intelligent reminders based on the appointment date, for example. So you would get a little reminder 3 days before your appointment date to remind you, have I completed my induction and am I ready to go for this appointment? It's an easy to use function that makes first meetings just far more productive. You've got all the background info and you can talk about solutions from the get-go. They're free to send, so it doesn't cost. Therefore, don't hesitate to direct staff to send an invite to every inquiry. You'll only ever pay a usage fee once the client's become an actual fee-paying client that has signed a cost agreement. So our agreement with all firms is to be good value always. So it pays to test out the system, see how much success you can get with it as a conversion tool. Additional benefits, rather than directing clients to your website or sending them a URL link, is that you can see the user's progress through the system rather than having to wait for them to request an appointment. As I said, you can see if they've actually started or if they've completed. So their record will be pre-filled with the client's name and email address, and that gives them a really personalised landing page with their name, the details of the lawyer they're seeing. All of that simply makes for a much more engaging client experience. Settify does empower your clients with relevant information. So it gives them a clearer understanding of the process and it prepares them for the topics that will be discussed in that valuable first appointment. So the invitation does provide benefits not only to the lawyer, but to the clients too. If you would like a reminder of the process after the webinar, email me. Emma's going to share my email address in the chat. And I'll send you, I've got a one-page PDF with the steps outlined for how to send an invite. And I also have a wonderful document of phone notes with great wording prompts of how to introduce Settify while you are on the phone. it's helpful to have at your desk until you get used to how to explain, you want to explain the platform to any potential clients. And to end with some fun, I have a challenge that I encourage you all to participate in as proof to yourself that the invitation approach works. So the first challenge is for those of you that have never sent a Settify invitation, the challenge is send one. Just familiarise yourself with how quick and easy that process is, and look at integrating it into your everyday workflow to measure the conversion rate that does result. The second challenge is for those of you who may have sent an invite, but only randomly. Maybe the person that used to send them has departed the firm and the practice has just dropped off. We know that team members come and go and changes occur within your practice. So I challenge you to test out the invitation approach by sending an invite to every inquiry for a 2 or 3 month block. After that period, email me and I'll provide you a report. I'll reply with how many invites your firm has sent and how many completions resulted from that. As I've said, I commonly see an average of 70% of completed invites from the firms that make this a proactive habit and part of their everyday workflow, offering the invite to every inquiry. I'd love to see that result for your firm. So there's nothing to lose and a lot to gain, and proving to yourself that the approach works could be hugely beneficial. The takeaway I encourage you to have from this webinar is leverage our technology as a key resource, and in particular, the invitation function, because it's simple to use, easily tailored, and when utilised, provides what we say are brilliant first meetings every time. I do genuinely appreciate your attention and would be grateful if you fill out the survey after the webinar. We do pay attention to your feedback, so that would be great. I thank you and I wish you all a wonderful day.
Jo, before you head off, we actually did have a question.
Oh, yeah.
And it was around the wording. So can custom wording be saved in Settify so that the firm doesn't have to continue copying and pasting? So, for example, if you wanted to add things about parking or their physical address, can that be done so that it goes out with all email addresses, all emails?
Absolutely. So that is something that we do for firms. If you tell us what wording you would like to come up in the invitation automatically, so you're not having to customize it, we will build that in for you and get that in place so that the correct wording that your firm is comfortable with comes up and goes out in every invitation. We do also, in terms of the parking, Emma, we're able to attach documents automatically for you, which is really terrific. So we do have some firms that have parking and office instructions that automatically go out with their emails too.
Another question we have is, do we set up the lawyer profiles, or is this something that we need to provide to Settify to do on our behalf?
Okay, let me see. I'm not sure. I'll just open that chat. I'm not sure who asked that question, but we do set it up for you initially when we set up your firm as part of the rollout, but you have full customization of that. So you can add, you can adjust your profile, and in the first webinar I did, so Emma, if you could make note of who asked that question, I can send the link to the first webinar that I did, which actually gives you the instructions of where you find yourself in the Settify system and how you can make edits to your biography and profile. And you can even link that to your biography on your website as well, which is really useful.
Absolutely. I think you might have answered everyone's questions.
Lovely. That's great. I appreciate everyone's time and thank you for your assistance, Emma.
No problem. Thanks, Jo. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.